I'm sitting here in the lashing of rain and just realised how much we took for granted for the last 3 weeks, of how easy it was to dry our clothes without even thinking about it. And I got thinking about when I tweet or send a message to, one of the senior government officials, Taoiseach, Taoiseach, whoever. I get a lot of people that turn around and say, you're wasting your time, waste of breath, don't even bother. They don't look at their accounts. They don't watch or monitor what happens or look at responses. They've probably got their kind of, whoever's in charge of their media sending out all their social media posts. And they probably just okay it. They say, hey, Taoiseach, I'm going to send this out. Yeah, that's exactly what I want sent out. And they never look at their social media accounts. They're probably trained never to look at their social media accounts for obvious reasons. However, I see when I post something up on Twitter or Facebook or wherever, my kids, although they're coming around, like I told them, you'll see what crazy dad was saying was right. Like they go, Dad, like what the hell? I wonder when the Taoiseach or the Taoiseach or Minister for Justice or Finance or whoever, Minister for Health, whoever, do they have kids? Well, we know they have kids, but do they have kids old enough that will turn around and go, Dad, are you sure that's a good idea? Like, are you sure flooding in, over 200,000 people into the country, that we don't really know? Do you really think that's a good idea? I'd love to be the fly on the wall at the conversation at the dinner table when family members, whether they be their kids, whether they be husbands or wives, partners, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, parents, whatever. I'd love to be the fly on the wall because surely we all know what's going on. We now have Sinn Féin coming out saying, whoa, hang on a second. The money that was paid to IPAS centres is off the charts. I said it from day one. How can you offer a hotel more money for less hassle and nobody bat an eyelid as to what was going on? And now, with great work from the likes of Nick Delahanty, who's turning around and saying, actually, this is exactly how much these guys are being paid. We now have Sinn Féin coming out, and they'll probably have to delete the tweet or apologise for saying what they're saying in the next day or two. That seems to be a reoccurring trend with them. They now are turning around saying, whoa, this is wrong. But like the dog in the street knew it was wrong from day one. If I see somebody shooting somebody, do I have to wait to find a body 2 years later before I turn around and go, I told you shooting people was wrong. I told you that was going to be a bad outcome. And yet again, this is exactly what's happened. We come out after COVID and I'm saying, listen, lads, I'm sure this is the right idea to lock us down for as long as you're doing, other countries aren't doing it and, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and then we go 2 years later, maybe that wasn't such a good idea, or maybe we didn't make the right call. Now with mass illegal immigration, they're turning around and saying the exact same thing. 2 years of doing this, maybe a lot of people have profiteered out of human trafficking. Maybe flooding towns and villages all around rural Ireland isn't such a good idea. Why do we have to wait 2 years before we realise what we were saying from day one wasn't a good idea? But my question is the Taoiseach's family, whether it be kids, wife, aunt, uncle, brother, sisters, whatever, turning around and saying, are you sure this is a good idea? Because we're reading social media and you're being destroyed. There's not a single good positive post. Nobody is turning around going, oh my God, why didn't we think of this years ago? Of bringing in, what's the population of that town? 500? Why did nobody think of bringing in 600, mostly which are illegal immigrants, into that town? Sure, that's a great idea. Can't believe we never thought about this before. Let's bring in all these people. No, it doesn't matter that they didn't have their passport. Sure, of course they could be anybody, but that's got to be a good thing, right? Nobody has said anything positive about mass illegal immigration to any single post by any single senior politician anywhere on social media. And 2 years down the line, probably gone on a bit longer, but it's the last 2 years that's gotten way out of hand. 2 years down the line, we now have a party coming out going, whoa, we think this is wrong. We think people are actually profiteering out of this. Surely, and if the family member asks the senior politician, whether it be the Taoiseach or the Taoiseach or whoever, what is their answer? Go, no, look, are the conspiracy theory nut jobs right? Look, we have to do this because Europe have told us to. We have to do what they tell us to do. Yeah, but other countries in Europe aren't doing that. Other countries are now stating out loud that this is wrong and actually closing borders, getting tighter, mass deportation. But we're so saying, come on in, the door is open, don't you worry, there's no problems at all. Well, I know we stuck 39 Georgians on a plane and got rid of them. We're definitely trying to improve things, but we're not. So, do their family, do their friends, question our senior politicians and go, what the fuck are you at, lads? You're the guys in power. You're the guys who advertise in 8 different languages. You're the guys who said, come on into Ireland, within 3 to 6 months you'll have your own house free. You don't need to work. It doesn't matter that you've never contributed a single cent, nothing to the economy. Come on in, the price is right. I don't know. I know if my dad was making these decisions, I'd be turning around going, the fuck you at? We have changed and altered the face and the look of so many towns, villages, even cities that 10 years ago never looked like this. 5 years ago never looked like this. And we're all supposed to just shut up and be okay about it? And I don't mind if you're going, oh, you're so racist. I don't give a shit if people call me that anymore. Really, because, it never washed and it doesn't stick anymore. And more people know it's not true. I don't care the colour of your skin, who you bow down to pray to. I don't give a shite about any of that. Once you come into the country, you contribute to society, you work hard, and you don't get all this shit for free. My problem is that who we've brought in that are just getting all this for free. We know exactly why they're doing it. Because it's better than they're getting in any other country. I'd love to know. Do family, friends, neighbours challenge their senior politicians and turn around and go, Mom, Dad, neighbour, cousin, son, nephew, niece, what the fuck are you at? You are destroying our country. Anyway, as always, maybe it is just me. The banging you're hearing is that it is lashing rain falling on top of the car. Maybe it's just me who thinks like this. But as always, I love to hear the comments, read them. And thanks a million for every... Oh, by the way, I was wondering why numbers weren't increasing. I found, thanks to a lot of people for pointing it out to me, that somebody had set up a fake account with me, and I finally got them removed. But they had amassed a huge amount of followers and likes and all this kind of stuff. So thankfully, that account is now gone. Thanks to TikTok, they got rid of them. So maybe, hopefully now we'll start seeing a few more views and a few more followers coming up. 25,000, pretty happy. But I'd love to have 100,000. Anyway, let me know what you think. As always, love to hear your opinion. Have a great day. I'm not so sure it's a great day for an ice cream, but I might have a sneaky one just in case. Have a fantastic day.